Welcome to the next part of your SpooliT demonstration suite. As mentioned in the prior demo, it is important to understand that at its core, SpooliT is a rules-based system. Whether that is a selection rule, an automation rule, or even a rule to format data into Excel, they are all rules. Let's take a closer look. When it comes to exporting data into Excel, then we achieve that using a concept called SpooliT Excel templates. So what exactly is a SpooliT Excel template? Well, it's simply a set of rules that sit inside a SpooliT Excel template. When you look inside a typical IBM I-series report, you see a bunch of data designed originally to spool that data to a physical printer in format that the printer understands. But how does that same printer data possibly get transformed into an Excel document? Well, it's done by defining a SpooliT Excel template. Inside a SpooliT Excel template, you tell SpooliT where the report data resides. Typically, data resides in sections or specific areas in the spool file. For example, this section stores header information. And this section is where detail lines live. Or this section is where report totals can be found. Once SpooliT understands report sections, then that's where the magic starts. Watch SpooliT detect data and start creating column data that Excel spreadsheets eat for breakfast. Let's take a look together. Let's get started. Using your SpooliT user interface, navigate to your IBM I-series output queue. Then locate your spool file. In the right side list, double-click on the report. The report is loaded into the bottom preview window where you can confirm you have the right report. So what's our game plan? We are going to create a SpooliT Excel template. Then we are going to create a selection rule to process this report. We will choose the Excel template we created, and then define who to email this report to, using the Excel template we defined. Finally, we will automate this rule so that every time this report is created, the selection rule will pick up the report. Then transform the report data using our Excel template and emails it the right people, without any human doing a thing. It just happens automatically thereafter. We created a categorization folder in SpooliT for our new Excel templates. So, locate the report on the output queue, then let's single-click on this report. Then press the Excel toolbar button at the top of the screen. When prompted, select Yes from the pop-up dialog to proceed with creating a SpooliT Excel template. You are presented with this screen that shows you all of your existing SpooliT Excel templates. Next, press the New Template button from the toolbar. It's the third option from the left in the toolbar. SpooliT presents a report canvas, shown in green. Using the report canvas, we take a look at the report data and see if we can visually identify the various report sections. This report is fairly simple in its structure. It has report headings and detail lines. The detail lines are what we are interested in for this template. The first task is to define the report section we are interested in. Start by placing the mouse on the row where your data starts, that is, the details lines. Then drag the mouse to where the detail lines end. Do not drag over pages of text. SpooliT just needs a reasonable sample to work with. When you release the mouse, a pop-up prompt appears. If you're happy with your sample selection from the canvas, simply press Yes to create your new report section. The Report Section Properties wizard is displayed. In here, we enter a section name. We will type detail lines as our section name. Next, press the OK button. SpooliT already understands that this report section contains column data, and, most probably, the report contains column headings that can be used as our column descriptions. Next, press the OK button. Then, on the green report canvas, drag the mouse over a line, or lines where column headings exist. Release the mouse. Then, in the wizard screen, press the OK button, and watch the magic happen. SpooliT searches the report data. It detects where the columns exist. The wizard automatically creates the various columns, and finds the corresponding column headings to use. It only takes a few seconds for SpooliT to create the various columns. The results are loaded in the right side list. At the bottom is the virtual Excel preview window showing how data will be presented in Excel. Next, we want to perform a quick test to see if SpooliT has properly identified the detail lines from this report. Press the green button highlight selected rows in the report canvas. Looking at the report canvas, you will see the wizard shows you in red the rows that it thinks are the detail lines. In this case, the wizard has done a good job, so there is no need to change anything. To remove the red row filter, press the red button highlight selected rows in the report canvas to toggle off the filter. Next, let's test the output in Excel. Press the Quick Preview toolbar button. SpooliT will run the Excel template and export data into Excel for you to review. Take a good look at the Excel document and decide if you are satisfied, or if you want to make any changes. The SpooliT wizard has done a good job so far. The right data has been selected and exported. The headings look good. As a first cut, I am happy with that result. So let's proceed to save our SpooliT Excel template. Press the Save button from the toolbar at the top of this screen. Next, let's perform another quick preview to check our Excel spreadsheet. It looks good. Remember to save your work if you changed anything. In the above toolbar, press the Exit button, the second last from the right. Congratulations, you have created your first SpooliT Excel template using the wizard, and it only took a few minutes. So let's continue with our game plan. Let's use our new SpooliT Excel template in a real-world scenario. We will create a new selection rule to process this report. We will then link this new Excel template we just created to this selection rule. Finally, we will automate this entire process so that anytime this report is generated, SpooliT will grab this report, convert it into Excel using our new SpooliT Excel template, then email the report to the right people. Automatically every time, without anyone from IT lifting a finger. Straight through processing via SpooliT automation. Next, let's create a selection rule to process this report. Select the report from your output queue. Choose Create a Rule. Follow the prompts. Enter the selection rule description. Select the correct user recipients from the list, and add them to your recipients list. For each recipient, click on Excel as your preferred output format option. Click the Template button to use an existing SpooliT Excel template. The Excel template selection screen is displayed. Locate the correct Excel template. Single-click on your newly created Excel template. Then, press the toolbar button Select Template to make your selection. The selected SpooliT Excel template is displayed here. Press Apply button to save your selection rule. Next, we will automate this selection rule. Let's select Always. Remember that always in SpooliT means process in real time. That is to say, as soon as the report is created, SpooliT will pick up the report using the selection rules we just created, and convert the report into Excel using our new SpooliT Excel template. Then it will email the report to the nominated recipients in Excel format. Make your selections. Review your rule. Press Apply to save your rule. Your selection rule has been created. Your automation rule is set. And it now appears in the correct place. The next time that this report lands on this output queue, SpooliT will immediately process it in accordance with the selection rule and the automation rule, and use the Excel template you created to transform the data into Excel, then email it to the right recipients. Continuing with our game plan. Let's create another SpooliT Excel template for a different report. We will select a report that has more report sections. we will end up with 3 report sections extracted. We will also look at how to append one section to another section so that the data from each section is merged together into a single Excel row. We will also look at how to delete columns you do not need. We will learn how to sequence columns, how to define and fix cell locations. We will explore how to format certain columns, change fonts, font colors. We will look at features to repeat data in Excel for situations where we append data from more than one section into a single row in Excel. Navigate to your iSeries. So, let's navigate to an iSeries output queue and select a new report for us to use. Once you have located your next report, double-click on it to view it in the preview window. Then, press the Excel toolbar button at the top of the screen. When prompted, select Yes from the pop-up dialog to proceed with creating a new SpooliT Excel template. You are presented with this screen that shows you all of your existing SpooliT Excel templates. Press the New Template button from the toolbar. SpooliT presents the report canvas, shown in green. Here, we take a look at the report data and see if we can visually identify the various report sections. This report structure reveals it has report headings and a salesperson line break, and detail lines, and finally report totals. To start with, let's start with the salesperson section. The first task is to define the first report section we are interested in. Start by placing the mouse in the start of where salesperson line commences and drag the mouse to select the line. Select Yes from the dialog. Next, this dialog appears. Type in the section name, Sales Rep section. Press OK. The wizard will look at this section of the report and extract the data points it detects. It has detected that there are 2 column fields: Salesman Rep Code and Salesman Name. Next, we need to test that the selection is accurate. Press the green button Highlight selected rows in the report canvas. Matching rows will be displayed in red inside the report canvas. As you scroll down the report canvas, you will see that only salesperson rows are selected. This is exactly what we want to see, and it means the selection rules are correct. You see that the first output column is the sales rep code. This looks to be correctly determined by the wizard. The next column field is the salesman's name. You will notice that the wizard could not find a label prior to the data field, and no heading above it, therefore it gave the column a generic name FLD060. So we will click on it and update it with a proper description. Enter the actual column field description salesman name. Review the information, and make any other changes. Decide if you want column headings displayed or perform any formatting changes you need. Press the Apply button. We always suggest that you test your template and save it regularly. Click the Quick Preview button in the toolbar and view the output in Excel. We could see that column B did not have a heading description, so let's correct that. If anything else looks wrong or needs changing, then edit the column fields accordingly. Remember to save your changes. Once you have tested your first section, then click on the first tab called Report Sections. Next, let's capture the detail lines section. Click on the first detail line and then drag your mouse down so you select a good sample range for the wizard to analyze. Note, don't drag your mouse over other report sections or headings in the report canvas, otherwise your sample data is compromised and the results will be erratic. Once you release the mouse, you are prompted to confirm if you want the wizard to proceed. Press OK. Next, the wizard understands that you have selected multiple sample rows, and that there are potential headings available for it to use to name the output columns. Press OK to continue. The wizard redisplays the green report canvas. Drag the mouse over the canvas to tell the wizard where to find headings. In this example, the headings exist in 2 consecutive lines, so we select both. Next, enter the section description detail lines. Then, press OK. Watch the wizard do its stuff as it detects and creates the rules and loads the column data fields it has detected. Next, let's test that the wizard's rules and that the row detection is accurate by pressing the green button highlight selected rows in the report canvas. The wizard will highlight rows that it thinks are your detail lines. So far, so good, it looks correct. Press the red button to remove the red row filters. Then take some time to review the various columns. If you need to make any changes, just click on any column and change heading names, or change the column sequencing accordingly. If you do not need a particular column, right-mouse click on it and choose Delete to remove it. You can drag and drop columns to change their position if you need. Proceed to filter rows as required to check selection logic. When you are satisfied, then press the Quick Preview button from the toolbar to see the data inside Excel. Remember to save your work as you progress. Click back on the Report Sections tab. The last step for this report is to tell the wizard where the total lines section is located. Click on the report canvas to select the Report Totals line. Press OK to proceed. The wizard performs its spell casting magic, and detects all the column data, and presents its findings for your approval. Remember to test the selection rules by pressing that green button highlight selected rows in the report canvas. Filter the canvas to highlight the rows in red. Scroll down in the report canvas to ensure only report total rows are highlighted in red. Spend some time looking at the various column fields and make any changes you require. Single-click on any column to edit it. Press the Apply Column filter to report canvas. This will change the canvas view so that the noise is removed and you see just column data presented. Press the red button to remove the column filter and return to the original canvas view. Once you're satisfied, press the Quick Preview button. Look at the Excel spreadsheet. Take note of any changes you need to make. In this example, you can see that sales rep line is output on its own row, and that detail lines load directly below the sales rep row. If you want to combine 2 sections to load into a single row, then you can achieve that easily. Return back to the Report Sections tab. Then drag the Detail Lines entry over the Sales Rep section. This joins the 2 sections together, effectively appending them to each other. To see the results, press the Quick Preview button. You can see that indeed the 2 sections are merged into a single row. But I hear you say that I'd like the data in column A and column B to repeat down the rows until the sales rep code changes. No dramas, let's make that change. Let's edit this column field. See the repeat option at the bottom? Let's click on that repeat field, and press Apply to save our change. Perform this for the other column B field. Now both fields have been changed to repeat data. Next, let's test the output. Press the Quick Preview button. That's looking better. I think we are getting the idea about how to change our output to match our requirements. Now, did you notice that those total rows don't stand out very well? Let's make some changes to those columns too. Let's change their color. Let's make them bold too. Let's move them to align to the correct columns to match their detail line column cousins. Then press Quick Preview to see our changes. Not bad. So now, let's take a look how we can perform some further formatting changes. Click on the Formatting tab. Change your font. Change your font size, bolding, italics, etc. Change your font color here if you need. Repeat the process for other columns as you need. Keep making changes until you get the right result. Click on Quick Preview button. Export into Excel and check your great work. Great, that's looking better. Remember to save your work. If you need to add an additional column for this report section, then you can drag over the data in the report canvas. As an example, let's assume you wanted to include the total line description in Excel. You would drag the mouse over the rep totals in the report canvas. A new column field is loaded. Click on that new column to edit it. Make your changes. Move the column to column G. Then press Quick Preview to test your work. Make further formatting changes if you want. Save your work. Press Quick Preview and check out your results. It's really starting to look as we intended. If you want to change numeric formatting, you can do that too. Change decimal positions? Change currency formatting? You have the flexibility to format any field to meet your needs. Okay, that's really starting to take shape now. Remember to save your hard work. Great, it looks like we are done. Excellent work. You've created your second Excel template and made it look the way you want it to. Your Excel template is saved. So, what's next? So let's continue with our game plan. Let's use our new SpooliT Excel template in a real-world scenario. We will create a new selection rule to process this report. We will then link this new Excel template we just created to this selection rule. Finally, we will automate this entire process so that anytime this report is generated, SpooliT will grab this report, convert it into Excel using our new SpooliT Excel template, then email the report to the right people. Automatically every time, without anyone from IT lifting a finger. Straight through processing via SpooliT automation. Let's create another selection rule to process this report. Change your selection rule attributes if you need to. Enter your description. Let's assign a recipient to receive the report. Let's make sure we select the Excel template that we just created. Locate your Excel template. Press the Select Template button to make your selection. Then we'll save our selection rule. Next, let's automate this rule. Let's choose Always. This will ensure this report is processed every time. As soon as it lands on the output queue, this rule will pick it up. Convert it into Excel. Using the Excel template you just created. So let's summarize. We have learned how to create Excel templates inside SpooliT using our Excel template wizard. We have learned how to test our results. We have learned how to tailor the output to match our requirements. Then we have used our two Excel templates to process reports in real time for straight-through processing so the correct users get their reports in a brand new shiny Excel spreadsheet. Well done! In the next SpooliT demonstration chapter, we will perform a deep dive into report splitting. We will create splitting templates using SpooliT. Then we will be able to take large reports and split them into smaller chunks and send the smaller report sections to the right people, all without human intervention. Let's continue your learning journey with SpooliT.